Thank you for tuning in to Mind Your Business, MYB Talk Radio, the business talk show that talks all about business. Call in and leave your comment, 1-877-704-1010 or 410-481-1010, or listen live on your computer on WOLB's Baltimore.com. And for more information on the show, you can go to the show's website, which is www.mybtalkradio.com. For previous shows, purchase of full-length shows, advertising, sponsorships, and to keep MYB informing you on the airwaves, please go to that site, mybtalkradio.com. You can follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and other Mothership Productions Let's Talk Business on LinkedIn. Today's topic phrase will be the lap of luxury, going from coach to first class. Today on MYB Talk Radio, we'll be taking a look at the companies who are in the business of luxury, go to our Back in the Day segment, do a little history, who did it first, talk about the types of luxury businesses that are out there, some price tag stats, big boy, big names, and of course some personal views, and close with the dotted line. First, let me give you some top news. According to CNNmoney.com, a water drought in Nebraska may cost $20 billion in crop insurance, released last Thursday. That's, naturally, of course, due to the heat waves that we have been having all across the U.S. So, also according to CNNmoney.com, Spanish stocks exchange halts for 5 hours. This is due to a computer glitch in the trading section. This was according to the index operator of the trading problem, the computer they had. The computer glitches are all over the place, even in Wall Street. So that's pretty significant, guys. Everyone's going through it, and different things happen in today's business world. So, as I said, topic phrase is the lap of luxury, going from coach to first class. But first, let me say, now let's go into the different, I'll first name off a few luxury businesses that are actually out there and available. Of course, we have the luxury airplanes and airlines. You have the jets and private jets, business jets. You have luxury housing, of course. Privatized banks cater to the well-to-do people and families and etc. Luxury malls, shops and stores. I'm sure you all have heard that even people like Magic Johnson and Jordan and just different big names out there, they go into these stores, and sometimes they will actually close the store down in order to have these well-to-do people with all this money shop, so they won't be disturbed and they can select carefully. So that's now let's go into back in the day. According to Wikipedia.org, business jets, as I said, I was going to talk about the business jets. You got business jets, private jets, or better known as the biz jet, of course. The jet aircraft sits about 19 people, and the formal names and the fancy names are more corporate jet, executive jet, and VIP transportation. You have the heavy jets, and that's built by Airbus, and that's a European aerospace company based in France. You've got Boeing, founded in 1916, but they didn't go commercial till several years later. You got the large Bombardier, started by Joseph Bombardier. He started that. He was born in 1907, but he started that about 1930 to about 1960. And you got Gulfstream. You've got many different sizes. You got the mid-size. Also, according to verybest.com, in 1963, a man by the name of Bill Lear. I'm sure some of you all well-to-do people out there have heard of him. So far as the private jets, he introduced the world's first luxury business jet his company's titled Learjet, which makes sense, I think. His business has been creating luxury in the air now for about 45 years. So, like I said, it's been around for quite some time. Please give us a call, 1-877-704-MYBTalkRadio.com. For any reason that you don't want to call in, you can always text me with your comments on 240-389-8934. That's 240. And I want your opinion so far as well-to-do people, business people are used to living in the lap of luxury, which is a wonderful thing. We want to hear from you. We want to know what things have you experienced, and how did you get to that point where you could live luxurious in your business, some of the steps that you took, and we will be going through a few of those ideas later on in the show. Okay, well, now let's talk about some luxury cars. We spoke a little bit about the jets. Let's go into the cars. We all know BMW, Mercedes, Lexus, Audi, and more. And some of these are very commonplace, but Don't forget, some of these are actually international manufacturers, and those who own any one of those vehicles know what it is to own a luxury American or international manufacturers. For example, Toyota. Toyota is so commonly known, yet we can't forget that it is a Japanese automaker. And Honda, who actually surpassed Nissan in 2001, who became the second largest Japanese automobile manufacturer in the world. And they own, of course, as we all know, everything they manufacture. Now I'm saying they manufacture many different products. They do motorcycles, mopeds, landscape equipment, snow blowers, lawn mowers, aircrafts, even robots, I found out. That's pretty interesting. And mountain bikes, so many different things. Said, some of them actually merged. Chrysler is actually manufactured from Australia. So that's also very interesting. But what I want to do is give you some price tags just so you all have an idea of once you get to your business or in life in general, your professional Dorchester.com. Dorchester hotels are all over the world. When I went to go find out the information, I was trying to find a local 1-800 number. The young lady gave me, $425 to $2,900. Now, I said to myself, we're doing the luxury business here. So I then asked her, she was trying to take me through different options. I said, no, I'm not here to book a hotel. I'm just here to find out the prices, doing some research. So I said, what's the highest price that you've seen yourself? She said $13,000. That's an evening. So you can only imagine if someone were to stay a week. We're speaking about luxury. That's a great idea. Moving right along to how much a luxury vehicle would be. Now, I can tell you all in my research and throughout the years, I worked for a few different sides of the car industry, from insurance to tag and title places and so on, and even a car dealership with the business development center. Business is my thing. So, but throughout the years, I've loved cars, and one of my favorite international cars is the Maserati. Now, I don't know if you all have ever seen the Maserati, but it's a very serious-looking vehicle. It's beautiful, and especially the SUV. I like it in black myself. But I did some research, and they had said on Bing.com that it ranged anywhere from $120K to $135,000. And I'm sure they go even more than that in some parts of the world. Sometimes you can see the regular vehicle in this country, but then you look into a car magazine, some of the very well-to-do, even the Robb Report, will give you the international version of that, or the version that they had not come out with. What I also want to go into is how much does it cost to buy a horse? Many of these investors are also buying horses. That's a very luxurious thing to do, and have a full stable even, where they either train them to do the track or course, or sometimes they even have a personal pet. So, and that ranges anywhere from $800 to $150,000. Another thing that I found out was how much it costs to buy an exotic animal as a pet. People, when they get to this level of billion, they get white tigers and, as I said, peacocks. And I did one time just to show my daughter Harmony, who's 8. She wanted to see how many albino animals were out there, and there's all kinds. There's pure white lions, tigers, luxury memberships. The Millionaires Club, just an entry fee of $25,000. Private jet memberships sometimes range even just to rent for a day, or however long you're thinking, $1,300 to $9,000 an hour. Okay, let me give you a story about a good buddy of mine, good IT friend of mine, by the initials VT. He was doing some research on just to see what a membership would be for a private jet. He's doing a few contracts here and there, and he started thinking luxurious himself. So he called up one company, and once you get to this $1 million and $1 billion status, guys, you got to understand that they throw away the thousands. Speaking of thousands and millions, they just say 250, 100, and it's so casual for them that's how they talk. It's faster, it's business, and that's how transactions get done. So, in saying that, when he went to go ask, he said, how much does a minimum membership start at? And I said, 250, and it goes all the way up to 1.2. That's when he realized, okay, they're talking about 250,000 to start. So that just gives you some idea. At $56 billion Mr. Bill Gates, we all know, is doing quite well. But hold the phone. I also found some good information over Bill Gates. Carlos Slim Helu, a Mexican business tycoon and philanthropist, ranked the richest person in the world for 2 years in a row, starting in 2010. And in 2010, his luxury/worth went up to put him at $74 billion. Now, here is a very interesting fact, guys, by Forbes.com. It's a very cool sidebar fact. As I said, Forbes.com, March of last year. Check this out. Out of 1,210 billionaires, only 6 of them are people of color. That's a little sad, I think. But Aliko Dangote, from Nigeria, his net worth is 13.8 billion, mostly involving sugar, flour, and cement. Mohammed Alamoudi, I've actually heard of him several times. He's from Saudi Arabia. His net worth is 12.3 billion, involving oil. His investments include mostly that, but get this, he also includes, and I'll talk about this also if I can get to it, a gold mine. So very long-term investments are very important, guys. So get cracking now if you already haven't. And I know some of you all out there are saying, it's too late. It's never too late. People start very late in their life. Along with the big boy names, let's mention a few big girl names we also have in place, like Patrice Motsepe. And she's from South Africa. Her source mostly from mining. I say mostly, her net worth was 2.7 billion. I was thinking that was a little off, only because, we know Oprah. Oprah's millions and millions of dollars, but I keep forgetting billion. At 50 years old, she hit $1 billion. So 2.7, sorry to say 2.7 is actually, sounds about right. And 2 more I want to mention is Mike Ayuda, and he's from Nigeria also. Main source, oil, banking, and telecoms. His net worth is $2 billion. And finally, Mo Ibrahim. He is from the United Kingdom. His net worth is $1.8 billion, and his source, telecoms. Now, what I want to do is, like I said, this is going from coach to first class. In other words, how do you take your business to that higher level so maybe you can start living luxurious? So we're going to go into that. According to Forbes.com, naturally the first step is to what? Plan your financial course. All your assets, your bills, your liabilities, make a structure. Know where you're going. Also, invest in different commodities like Amudi. He has the oil, very important. Rice. Spread your money out in different places. I said so you have something to fall back on. And, you really want to sit back and take a note from some of these. That's also what they said was change your sales techniques. If something doesn't work, try something a little different. You have to use your brain, guys. If something is not working, you try so hard because you put your heart into it so much and you feel a certain way because you've gone so far into what you've done and it's all yours. But, criticism, because look out for constructive criticism. Look to be edited. Edit yourself. Do the things you have to do to expand and look into so that you have something to fall back on. So, guys, now that we've come to the close of our show, and I really appreciate you guys tuning in, I really would like to go into the dotted line. What happens when you get to the end of a contract or a deal? You sign the dotted line. In life in general, we all want to live luxurious, but we also need to know how to get to that silver lining. However, what are the steps that you are taking to get to that next level, personally and professionally? We really have to step back, as I said, and look at what others have done if we don't have a clue. Too late to do that. So don't assume that we can't live our happy lives even later on in your life. Things happen, and you've got to come back to that. 2, you can't assume that with only a little bit of effort that you'll be able to see the other side of the rainbow. As I said in the last show, even as a CEO, if you've gotten to a certain point in your career, you still, whether you have a team of folks or not, if you can't do it, get a better team. Something even on a small level has to be done. Some have it easy, some don't. Some have earned their millions, some have inherited their millions. But nevertheless, what are you doing with your investments? According to CNN.com, luxury business was not recession-proof. They lost $270 billion in general. So with that, stay in your P's and Q's, because at some point, it doesn't matter when, you would like to know that you are able to go from coach to first class, finally living in the lap of luxury. Well, that's it, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you coming in and listening in on the show. Make sure you tune in every single Monday from 1:30 to 2 p.m. My name is Miss Robin-Annette. Before I go, I got to let you know there's no business like your own business. Once again, this is Miss Robin-Annette, your host, signing off on Radio 1's WOLB 1010 AM in Baltimore.